What's up, y'all? Good morning. Good morning. So here I go again. I guess doing what I gotta do to get back into the swing of things, get back into the swing of coming out here and talking to y'all. Right now, I'm just gonna continue to just vent, just talk, because this is where I am right now. The other day I shared with you all the fact that my family, mainly my mother and I, are dealing with taking care of my grandmother, her mother. But that was just, I guess that was just, you know how they say the camel that broke the straw that broke the camel's back. The straw that broke the camel's back. I guess dealing with all of the things that have been going on in the midst of trying to take care of my grandmother. That was the straw that broke the camel's back. It's been so much. It's been so much that's been going on in these last couple of months. I guess if you've been following me enough, then a person probably would have been able to kind of pick up on certain subjects that I was talking about and can kind of tell that, oh, okay, something, she must be, dealing with something or something. You would have been able to kind of pick up on it. Or if you knew me, you would have been able to kind of pick up on that. I guess I was giving out subliminal messages in a way. But however it is, so much been going on. So much been going on. In the midst of all of the things that was going on, the type of person that I am, I have always been someone who have been able to, I guess, withstand a lot. I've always been somebody who have been able to withstand a lot. A lot of pressure, a lot of conflict, a lot of, at times, rejection, a lot of trials, tribulations, whatever you want to call it. From a child, I have been able to endure a lot and still figure out a way to shake it off and get back up. I like to say, dust my crumbly self on off and pack them little crumbs back together and pushed it back together, some semblance of a person, and gone on and walk on out here like everything's okay when everything is not. When everything is not. Okay? It's probably a lot of people out here that can relate to that. That you out here and you kind of like walking around like a robot. You know what I'm saying? In a sense, like, just moving, without even really thinking about it. You taking care of business, you getting things done, you're handling whatever needs to be handled, and you're doing it kind of like automatically without even really thinking about it, and could be going through so much. Could be actually going through so much, but some kind of way you figure out a way to set it aside or block it out or set it on a shelf or whatever the case may be, so that you can continue to do what it is that needs to be done in your life. And that's been what I've been doing over the last couple of months. Having this platform to where I can motivate and inspire people to elevate. That is what I have found myself, burying myself into. I was burying myself into my platform in an effort to try to, I guess, ward off all of the things that was going on. But the one thing about when you have a lot going on, if it continues, it's going to end up eventually catching up to you. If if you don't stop and take a breath for a moment, it's going to mess around and catch up to you. If you don't deal with it, it's going to figure out a way to catch up to you. That's the one thing about these things. So you can try to block it out with, as many things, or replace it with as many things as you can possibly think, but it's going to eventually catch up to you. And that's what ended up happening to me. Over the last, I would say 2 years, but I don't want to really say it like 2 years, but I want to say over the last definite year, 14, 15 months or so, I had been in a relationship. You all may hear me at times and I'll say my babe or this or that or whatever. And during the course of the time that I had been in this relationship, it had turned into a thing where it had been more stressful than what being in a relationship should be, especially when you are in the newness of relationships. So that was one of the things that I have been constantly trying to, I guess, ward off or block out, or, just try to push to the wayside. I am a person who is, I'm real caring. I'm real considerate. You know what I'm saying? I'm always trying to, think about another person's feelings at the expense of my own. So I had been spending the last, like I say, 14, 16 months once the relationship got to this point, which was only about 5 or 6 months into the relationship. I immediately began to see that it had became lopsided. You know what I'm saying? That I was the person that was caring. I was the person that was always trying to be, like I say, considerate. I was the person who was always, I guess, submitting in a sense. And the things that were important to me, like this platform, all these things I'm doing, when I was writing my book, when I'm doing stuff like if I'm trying to put a newsletter together or a blog together, or, again, all this shooting at these videos and things like that, this stuff is very time consuming. If you are, for those of you that don't realize that, all this stuff is very time consuming. And the person that I was in a relationship with, and y'all hear me saying the word was, because it done got to that point where it's done became a was. And the person that I was in the relationship with was not in support of what it is that I was doing. He wasn't in support of it. So it was making it very difficult at times for me. Like I said, when I say I can't seem to gather a thought and this and that, I could not even really pull things together, because I would constantly find myself basically in arguments with this person about the things that I'm doing in my life, when whatever it is that this person was doing in their life, I was supportive. I was supportive because I'm a supportive person, but I could not seem to get this person to really truly support what it was that I was doing. I guess because he didn't really understand this, and because this don't get immediate returns. You know what I'm saying? The way that certain things that people, different endeavors that people out here pursuing, they may see immediate returns. And when I say immediate returns, I mean just money on top of money just falling all around. And so now it's just like, oh yes, get out here and do that. This thing that I'm doing here is bigger than money. Yeah, do you want to make money? Of course you want to make money. That's the ultimate thing, to be out here doing something that you absolutely love to do and get paid to do it. That's the ultimate. That's what that is. For me, that is the end goal of all of this. You know what I'm saying? I want to be able to motivate and inspire you all to elevate, assist you all with doing what is needed so that you can gain focus, so that you can get out here and pursue your dreams, your goals, you know what I'm saying, and pursue them with some sort of direction, you know what I'm saying, putting some sort of system in place. I want to help you all do that, you know what I'm saying? But ultimately, I want this to be the only thing in my life that I'm doing. I don't want to have to get up and go to a job. I don't want to have to get up and go to a job anymore. I don't want to do that. You know what I'm saying? And so I guess with him not seeing that, you know, instantly, I guess it's supposed to be instantly happening, it would be constant arguments about just petty things. It was just constant arguments. And that became very stressful. But I kept on trying to fight it off. I'll be talking to different people, you know what I'm saying, venting to different people to try to deal with it, because I didn't want to step away from communicating with you all. You know what I'm saying? I didn't want for what I was dealing with in this relationship to overwhelm me so that I couldn't come to you. You know what I'm saying? So I'm talking other people ear up off the side of their face. I'm talking to my therapist all the time about this. You know what I'm saying? And she's asking me, okay, did y'all talk about it? Because she, you know, did it get pushed to the side? You know, she trying to help me through it so that I can be able to continue to come and do this. But then, on top of all of that, for the last, I want to say almost 5 years, I've been blessed enough to have been finally living by myself. My entire life, I've always lived with someone. You know what I'm saying? I'm saying from a child to once I began to have children and get married and all those different things and be in relationships, I've always lived in a house with someone. And it's always been numerous people. And so when I finally got a chance in 2020, to live on my own, it was a beautiful thing, y'all. It was a beautiful thing. And when I say I was decorating, beautifying and this and that, and I put a lot of time and energy into making my home the type of home that I want it to be, the type of home that I want to come home to every day. And it's exactly what it has been for me. It has truly been my refuge. I loved, where I live. Well, one of my sons and some of my grandkids, about 5 months ago, my son, ran into, life, okay? Life be life, and as y'all know. And he ended up, after, about 6 years of him being out here doing what he doing for his family, him and his children had to come and live with me. And it has been a transition. When I say it has been a transition, because I'm used to, when I leave my house every day to go to work, I'm used to coming home and my house look exactly the same way it looked when I left. And that's not the case anymore. I'm used to when I come home, I can just, go in my office and sit and work for hours, and I'm just peace and quiet, and I'll have nothing else to do if that's what I want to do. I'm used to, if I want to get on my bike and go out and ride around in my community or whatever, I can just do it at the drop of a dime, because that's what I was able to do. I'm used to, if I just want to jump up and go and go to the stores, because where I live at is a heavy shopping area, or if I want to go and grab me something to eat, go get me a little hibachi, go get me some sushi, whatever, I can just get up and I can go and do it. Whatever it is that I wanted to do, I could do it, because my time was all of my time. If I wanted to go over to, I was with my baby, if I wanted to go and stay over there for 2 or 3 days or whatever, get my dog, me and her go, I could do it. You know what I'm saying? Because that was my life. My life was free, and I could do absolutely what I wanted to do, when I wanted to do, how I wanted to do it. And that is no longer the case, because I am helping my son to raise his children. And now, don't get me wrong. If I could go back 5 or 6 months ago and make this choice again, I'll make the same choice. I make the same choice, because what choice are you gonna make? What choice are you gonna make? You a parent, and especially you that mother parent. Okay, you that mother parent. Okay, you never stop being a mother. You never stop. It never stops. And for those of you who think, I can't wait till they get grown, I can't wait till they get 18, yes you can. Yes you can. Okay, because as long as they are a kid, they have to do what you say do, when you say do it, how you say do it, pretty much. You know what I'm saying? If you raising them in that manner. But once they get grown, they don't have to do nothing that you say. They don't have to do nothing that you say. So however their life ends up going, up, down, round, twist, turn, backflip, jump, hump, stomp, roll, crawl, whatever they life end up doing, they life end up doing that. And it ain't really nothing much that you can do about it, other than be there for them when they roll, stomp, jump, crawl, fall. That's all you can do. That's all you can do. So again, if I had a chance to do it over again, I'll still do it again. But it does not mean that it hasn't been taking its toll. It hasn't been taking its toll. It's been taking its toll, baby. It's been taking its toll. So it's like, I chose not to speak about these things because, I guess sometimes it seems like if you get to talking about stuff like this too much, I feel like the world will kind of like even, get to beating you down in the sense of like, dang, she always got a problem. There's always something going on. Guess what? It is always something going on. And just because people don't talk about the things that they always have going on, don't mean that they don't always have them going on. Just because people don't talk about the things they got going on, don't mean that they don't have stuff going on. They just choose not to, I guess, talk about them. They choose to play it off, fake the funk, act like, pretend, say, keep a brave face, show you what, tell them what they want to hear. Every little saying that you can think that mean, I'm just gonna act like that everything is okay. That's pretty much what a lot of us is out here doing, acting like everything is okay when everything is not, because you still gotta live your life. You still got to take care of your business. You still got to take care of your family. You still got to go to work. You still got to do all of the things that you have to do. So you just, and do them. You know what I'm saying? So that's what I've been basically doing lately. And when this thing that got to the point of where it has gotten with my grandmother, where every time if I'm just trying to talk to her, and every time she's talking to me, that face is boiling up and being the nastiest and the meanest that it can possibly be. And she's letting me know that I am going to destroy your life. Literally. If the last thing that I do on this earth is to tear your life down, I am going to tear your life down. You ain't about wanting to deal with that and then say, why is that so important to you? And to look her in her face and for her to say, ain't a damn thing wrong with me. Ain't nothing wrong with me. Okay? But I'm going to destroy you. That was the straw that broke the camel's back. That was the straw that broke the camel's back. So yeah, y'all. That's my vent for today. I'll talk to y'all later. Bye.